Hi, my name is Gene. Today I was forwarded an article from Forbes magazine, and it's about negotiations in China, and it gives 10 rules for success. And I looked over those 10 rules, and from my point of view and my experience, uh, if you just kind of read these 10 rules as the basis of your negotiations, it really is not going to help you a whole lot. And one of the reasons is a lot of the rules actually lack context, and perhaps 10 rules is a little bit too many. But what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to talk through and provide some commentary on each one of the 10 rules that was listed in this Forbes article, and hopefully it will provide you more insight and more context to prepare for your next negotiations in China. Okay, so the first rule it says is manage your own and your boss's expectations. So this rule talks about the importance of giving and receiving a face. It says that Chinese people will rarely disagree with you in public. They will emphasize friendly relationships and cooperation. And they will give your boss, if he's coming or he or she is coming to China for the very first time, they'll give them a lot of respect and compliments, which often creates a false sense of how well the negotiations is going. And it basically says great effort must be made to understand the meaning behind the words that people say in China. Okay, so there's a lot of things here about managing expectations. So I think managing expectations is important in general, no matter what you're doing. But it's when I talk about meeting people in China for the very first time, whether you're preparing for negotiations or you're going to China for an expat assignment, you have to understand that when Chinese meet foreigners, there's generally this honeymoon period. And this honeymoon period is a lot of giving and receiving a face, which by definition means they're going to be saying a lot of nice things that they may not really feel and they may not really mean. So yes, you need to manage your expectations, but just understand this culture that Chinese have of giving and receiving a face. And the best way to think about it is when you meet Chinese people for the first time, it's like a honeymoon period. And then as far as taking great effort to understand the meaning behind the words, I don't really agree with that. I think in general, especially during the honeymoon period, the actual words that people say actually don't have any meaning. Okay, it's just a lot of pleasantries, a lot of courtesy. Even if you're getting down into the negotiations and you think you're getting into specifics, you really shouldn't focus on the words. You have to focus more on developing the Guanxi. And as we kind of go through the rest of these rules for success, you really hopefully get a picture of how important Guanxi is to the negotiations process, but also to the outcomes of the partnership after the negotiations is over. Okay, so on